Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Andrew Chanin, CEO of Procure ETFs. We're going to discuss the launch of FEMA, FEMA. It's a fund that provides exposure to business lines involved with recovery and mitigation related to natural disasters. Andrew, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
It's great to be back, Jill.
All right, and so interesting today, June 1st kicks off the hurricane season here in the United States. How much are we predicting in terms of longer term damage? What does this picture look like?
Yeah, so today is the start of hurricane season, and I've been through many myself, including Katrina and Sandy. And what we've noticed is in some of these recent years, the cost of damage from natural disasters is picking up significantly. And this is from a couple of decades past, and it's for reasons like populations increasing and populations habitating high-risk areas. So when you do have these natural disasters, which have also been picking up in severity over the years, as well as frequency, there's more potential assets to be damaged. And FEMA looks at companies from around the world that are helping us build back, build better, and get back to our lives and recover from these disasters.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, certainly the spend will be there. I was reading somewhere that by the end of the century, the U.S. government they predict $2 trillion per year in damages from natural disasters. I mean, that's just a tremendous number. And the hurricane season is expected to be pretty busy for 2022.
They're expecting it to be larger than average. There's talk that the tropical storm currently making its way through Mexico may actually pick back up to be the first Atlantic hurricane this year, and can make landfall in Florida potentially in the next coming days. So this hurricane season is already off to a fast start. But something like FEMA is looking at things like wildfires, droughts, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, mudslides, and all the many different types of disasters. Hurricanes happen to be one of the typically cause some of the most damage though around the world, and especially in recent years.
All right, let's talk about the fund again. Ticker FEMA, FEMA. What's the methodology behind it? What kind of companies are in the fund?
Yeah, so it's looking at all sorts of companies that are called upon when you have natural disasters. So in the early stages, you even have satellite company like Maxar that helps with Earth observation and is helping us track weather patterns. Then you have companies like generator companies. When you had the Texas freeze a year ago, generator demand was backed up for over 6 months to get a generator, and these are highly in need. When you think of Hurricane Sandy that hit the Northeast, you have a company like Great Lake Dredge and Docks, which was there helping to rebuild 22 miles of the coastline. So you have companies that are helping with dredging, with recovery, with rebuilding, even mitigation and prevention on some fronts. So it is a really well-rounded list of companies, and it does have a global focus. So about 30% of cost of damage from natural disasters annually comes from the United States. But this is something that happens every day around the world. And that's why it made sense to us to have a global approach to combating and recovering from natural disasters in this fund.
So Andrew, is this an actively managed fund, or do you have it indexed to something?
Yeah, it's a passive fund tracking a VettaFi index. So this is the first under the new rebranding for that firm associated with a new ETF launch. It's rules-based. It rebalances quarterly and reconstitutes annually. This is something that we're really excited about. It took many years in the making, and looks at companies over 250 million in market cap. So some of these companies are generating hundreds of millions to tens of billions of dollars a year in revenues, and a lot of it coming from the recovery front.
All right, Andrew, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.